Power Monday all up in your area. What's going on, y'all? Power Monday all up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should. Real man. Ready? You ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. You know what I mean? I'm so ready. I'm ready to be ready. I'm so ready. I'm ready to be ready. Yo, the Daily Go Get 'Em Show Power Monday, March 6th, 2023. And this is the Daily Go Get Business Show. We talking about can't talk to me until you're on my level. You can't talk to me unless you're on my level. You can't talk about me unless you're on my level. People believe that you can't talk unless you're on that level. What do y'all think? What do you say? What do you say? Let's get straight to it. If you worked at a job, if you worked at a job, let's say a Fortune 500 company, Fortune 500 company, multi-billion dollar company. Do you feel like as an employee, whether you're entry level, whether you're in management, whether you are an executive, whatever level that you're on, do you feel like you don't have the right to criticize or talk to or have any say so about the way that the company is run to the CEO, to the owner of the company? Like if you had a chance, if you had a chance to say something about, you know what, I'm going to make this a little bit more difficult, because if I said a Fortune 500 company like Walmart, you would definitely say, no, I'll say whatever I have to say about Walmart, especially the store that I work in. I'm sure you would have a lot to say. I'm sure that you would have a lot to say, whether you're talking about the supervisor or the manager of that particular store, or whether you were talking about the company Walmart as a whole. I'm sure that no matter who was on the top of the food chain, you would still be willing to have a conversation with them about how you think that things should be run. No, yes, no, what? And if they tried to kick it to you like, um, I, I understand what you're saying. I understand your little gripes. I understand your little grievances. But you got to realize you ain't nothing but a cashier. You ain't nothing but a, I don't know, whatever job it is that you work in at Walmart, even if you're on the management level. So you can't tell me how to run this company, or you can't tell me what ideas are good for this company. Like, why not? Why not? Why wouldn't I be able to tell you about that? Why wouldn't I be able to talk to you about that? Because all you know is that your particular branch of that company, that store, that account is not being ran correctly. So whether I talk to the management about it, whether I talk to district management, regional management, upper management, the chairman, chairman of the board, whatever, however high it goes, this particular store probably could be better, and I have some ideas about how it could be better, but right now it's not very good. There's no reason why people should drive past this Walmart to go to the Walmart out in the burbs, or their favorite Walmart downtown, or the other Walmart in the mall across the bridge out of state in a different county. Now, if you cool with this account not making any money and adding to the rest of the rest of the company, then that's on you. But don't tell me I can't talk to the CEO. Don't tell me that I can't talk to the regional manager. Don't tell me that I can't talk to somebody or criticize this thing because it makes so much money that a peon like me can't say anything about it. Shoot, even the customers would have something to say about it. Okay. So like I said, that was an easy one. That was an easy one. Like, you probably wouldn't care who was asking the question. If you want to talk to whoever you want to talk to about the performance of or the way that something is running, whether you think it's good or whether you think it's bad. So if they tried to fire back at you like, I'm the big boss of Walmart, I'm the big boss of Home Depot. I'm the big boss of Target. I'm the big boss of McDonald's. You can't talk to me. You can't tell me what's wrong with this. You don't know how to do this. The burger's nasty. How about that? Big CEO of McDonald's, big Fortune 500 big wig. The burger's nasty. The fries be cold. The service sucks. The food don't look like it does in the commercials. Other food chains are more preferable than this one. And you can tell that you can take that back to your millions of dollars, billions of dollars, however much you make. But how about your product is subpar? So where does this energy come from when we say that you can't talk to somebody unless they're on your level, or somebody can't talk to you unless they're on your level? What level does that need to be? I'm just asking. What level do it gotta be? What level does it have to be? I'm just asking. Mhm. Excuse me. I felt the sneeze. I felt the sneeze. I felt the sneeze coming on. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? What's going on? Oh my gosh. Back back from life. Because I can't say he's back from the dead. My man is up in here. TK Price. Whenever I see Price behind a name, whenever I see Price as the last name, I know that this is my man coming on through. He got a birthday later on this month, too. T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your sight. And my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing. Max and Chill and Mia Cunningham. Thanks for coming through. God damn, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. No scams. Carol Chamberlain, me favorita. Thanks for coming through. It's always great to see ya. Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious, the greatest pearl in the world. Always great to see you, girl. My people, my people, my people. And Stacy White, what's going on? Thanks for coming through tonight. What up, y'all? What up, y'all? All right. So, so, what do you what do y'all have to say about this? What do y'all have to say about people? Like, have you ever had an argument with somebody and they lose in an argument, and then they want to because they lose in an argument, or because they didn't do well in something, at something, whatever. Now they want to talk about how much money they made before. Well, I mean, you got the right. I mean, here you are trying to talk shit about me, but shoot, I just poured a blah 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 blah. I just got a house. I just got a car. Look at this, mama, money. Please, don't rob me. Have you ever talked to anybody where it went down like that? Because it sounds crazy to me. I know it happens. Oh yeah, I know that it happens. But has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been in a situation where somebody tried to pop fly with you because they wasn't winning at something that you were saying to them? Have you ever had anybody try to point to their own success or somebody else's success because you had something to say of some type of relevance to them? Stacey White says yes. Well, I wonder, how did you handle that? How do you handle that? When somebody tries to get fly like that, try to come hard like that, what do you say? I remember mm, years ago, there was this girl I know who pretty much grew up following the Nation of Islam. And you know, we was having a discussion, about the way that they do things. And now, look, peace. First of all, peace to the Nation of Islam, because without the Nation of Islam, I don't think that we would have the feeling, the air of consciousness that we have in this country, had it not been for Elijah Muhammad and what he brought to the table. But in no way was Elijah Muhammad perfect. Malcolm X wasn't perfect, and Louis Farrakhan ain't perfect. So I don't think that there's any reason to try to defame any of them. But the truth is the truth. Facts are facts. And individually, you have the right to your opinion one way or another. The same way that if I was talking about TD Jakes or Creflo Dollar, or as my man Norris from my brother Norris would say, my man Reverend Ike, or any of those, or James Cleveland, the late James Cleveland. But the same energy that you would show for or against them, you mean to tell me, so because of what the Nation of Islam has done for black people in America, you can't say anything about certain practices that they have? Because anybody who has ever been part, who has ever been fruit of Islam, or who has ever been an MGT, they know, like, yeah, a lot of similarities between the Nation of Islam and regular Christian church. A lot of similarities. A lot of similarities. Especially when it comes to the mama money. I don't know if y'all ever been to any of the Nation of Islam mosques, but they be getting straight to that money. They get straight to the money. You know how, like, I'll tell you straight up and down, in Christian churches, they only ask for the money, the offering. They have a specific time. And Nation of Islam, when you go to that mosque, the whole time while the preacher is giving out what he's giving out, they got their hand up, like, hand out, like, yo, you like what he's saying? Keep filling that pot up. Keep filling it up. It's a fact. I've been to the mosque many times. It's a fact. Straight up and down. They feel no shame. They show no shame about it. And you can say that they deserve it or they don't or whatever. But I'm taking a long way to say this. I was talking about some of the things that the Nation of Islam does, and some of the ways that Farrakhan is. And she was like, well, still, because I was talking about the occult way that she was following him. Because she was definitely, everything was what a teacher says, what a teacher says, and the teacher, what a teacher. I used to be like, you don't have your own mind? Everything was the teacher, but the minister. That's what she used to say. The minister. What the minister says. The minister. The minister. I was like, yo, am I talking to you or am I talking to the minister? So she was saying, well, you know, I think he has a lot of credibility. He has a lot of reasons for me to follow him than I would for some other people. I said, I don't disagree with that. That doesn't mean that he is without flaws. Fast forward, maybe we might be 15 years later. Everything this woman says now is all against the Nation of Islam, against Farrakhan, especially against Farrakhan. Every single thing. I've never, you know how some people get fanatical about their dislike or hate for somebody to the point where you get like, yo, Listen, we was literally just talking about apples and oranges. Literally just talking about the prices of apples and oranges. Yeah, well, Farrakhan think that apples and yeah, I mean, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, she would have told me back then that I couldn't say nothing about Farrakhan because of what he had done, because of what he brought to the table. So he was above criticism. I couldn't talk to him because I wasn't on his level. And I'm wondering who was on his level. Who was on his level at the time? You know, by this time, I think Khalid Abdul Muhammad had already passed. What year did Khalid Abdul Muhammad pass? I'm pretty sure that he was gone. So, after Khalid Abdul Muhammad, has there been a definitive number two in the Nation of Islam? Has there been a definitive number two? Because Khalid Abdul Muhammad was absolutely number two. And when they kicked him out of the Nation of Islam, it was very Malcolm X like. Y'all, if y'all had followed it back then, and a lot of people believe that because Khalid Abdul Muhammad, the great Khalid Abdul Muhammad, was starting to get his shine more, maybe starting to overshadow Farrakhan the same way that they said that Malcolm X was starting to overshadow Elijah Muhammad. 40 years, it's crazy. Jealousy is a motherfucker. So, okay, Mia has heard people say it. Carol has said it. She says lots of times. All right, what we talking about? Mia says when folks want to pop fly when they are losing an argument or debate, I may chuckle. Makes them even makes them even angrier. TX Price says, don't forget to mention the Moorish Science Temple of Nation of Islam, which the Nation of Islam. Okay, yeah, the Moors. Oh boy, the Moors. Narcel says, response from the willfully ignorant when they clearly are shut down in a debate. That's why your baby mom got the 5-year clap. Shit like that. That's right. So you talking about when I was saying that the Nation of Islam is strikingly similar to the Christian church, but you saying that they copied off of the Moorish Americans. I follow you on that. Yeah, a lot of people don't look at it that way, or because they don't know. Okay, Mia says folks that always start with the minister, pastor, bishop, grand sheik, holy father scare me. I know, because they be sounding so fucking brainwashed, so like. But the thing is, how they gonna tell you what you can talk about? No, you can't say nothing about them. We're gonna get into it. Nar says people get themselves up for failure when they put others on a pedestal. Yes, they do. But you can't tell them nothing during the time. Nothing. TX Price says truth doesn't mind being questioned. Falsehood does. Oh my God, you ain't never lied. You ain't never done lied. So yeah. Now Beyonce knows. B. You know how vicious the Beehive is on social media. You know how vicious the Beehive is on social media. Whenever you say anything about Beyonce, like I don't think her songs are appropriate for little girls to be singing. I don't think her performance is it sets a very good example for these young girls that she claims she cares so much about. I don't think that she did the right thing. I mean, it's messed up how she lip synced for Barack Obama, but sang live at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Whatever you say about Beyonce, the Beehive is gonna, you can best believe the Beehive is gonna try to shut you down. And one of the ways they're gonna try to shut you down is by telling you, well, Beyonce got more money. She made more money last night than a lot of y'all gonna make in the next 5 years. So y'all got a lot of nerve talking all this shit. Oh yeah? Well, maybe some of those people paid $500 to see Beyonce and they didn't feel like they got their money's worth. Maybe her voice was cracking. Maybe she was lip syncing. Maybe she missed a step. Maybe the sound wasn't right. Maybe it wasn't a good show. Maybe they should give some people their money back. Maybe she wasn't all of that. Maybe this new album don't have good songs on it. Maybe she's overhyped. Maybe she gets a pass when she should be called a failure. Just maybe. But they're going to point to how much money she has. They're going to point to how famous she is. They're going to point to how much access that she has. And Jay-Z. The crazy part about Jay-Z is people don't even be wanting to defend Jay-Z. They don't really be having his dog in the fight. But because they love Beyonce, see, Jay-Z don't have the same kind of fan base that Beyonce has. He got more money than Beyonce, but Jay-Z don't have the same type of rock hard, solid, die hard fandom and fanaticism that Beyonce does. Do y'all agree with that, or would you call me a lie on that? But because they supposed to be a power couple, all right, but guess what? You can't say nothing about Jay-Z either because of Beyonce. I've heard people say it. They don't really care about Jay-Z like that. He don't even put out music like that no more. You know it, I know it. Even when he was putting music out like that. Jay-Z has made most of his money behind the scenes. He sold records, but he ain't sell them kind of records. He ain't selling no $1 billion full of records. But he gets a pass too. Kanye West, can we talk about it? I'm so sick of this nigga. This nigga Kanye West. Kanye West, who openly let you know that his claim to fame was that those billions of dollars that he allegedly had before he got dropped by Adidas and others. So because Kanye came out and spit some facts that people agreed with. Now he's the savior of the black community. He don't even want to be the savior of the black community. You ever listen to what he's saying? He ain't doing what he does in the interest of the black man. Even when he said what he said about the Jews, he didn't do that for the black man. He never even said that he was doing it for the black man. He's doing it for whoever. I'm just letting you know. The Jews did this and the Jews did that. But it wasn't because he wanted to save the black man and woman and child. He ain't on that. If you think he on that, Look at his current wife. Look at his last wife. Look at his kids. If a man's wife and if a man's wife and children don't tell you about who he is, what he wants, and how he sees the world, what's going to tell you? Yeah, but but Kanye got more money than blah blah blah. Then when he lost the money, then he was down to $400 million. And you know what? He probably actually has $400 million. He's probably actually worth that much. Yeah, well, we know that net worth doesn't mean that you actually have $400 million, because your net worth would actually be more than that if that's what you had liquid. But I don't think that he was ever worth the 4 billion or 6 billion, whatever they said. I don't think that he was ever worth that, because how can you be worth that much and then the stroke of a pen makes you worth that much, and then a one whiteout, some whiteout takes it all away. They whited out your whole income. You ain't never had that money. Keep telling y'all about that electric money. Y'all keep letting them gas you if you want. I'm trying to tell you. No, it says the Beehive and Elvis disciples. At least Elvis. I don't remember Elvis fans, pointing to how much money he had. We don't even know how much Elvis had. They said he was the king and blah 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 blah. But at least we only had to hear that from white people. I ain't never heard no black people call Elvis the king. I never heard it, because we would look at them strange, like. That would be like being in Boston and being that would be like living in Boston and being a Lakers and a Cowboys fan. Like, dude, you makes no sense. You are what? You live where? And you are what? Like what? Like, why? Why? So, but yeah. Yeah. Kanye West. Can't say nothing about him. Can't say nothing about him. He make more money than you'll ever make. He got more than you ever. He ain't worried about y'all. I'm like, oh yeah, he ain't worried about us. Why he keep putting himself in front of that camera talking to us? Yeah, why y'all worried about him? Look, you can tell he the shit, because here it is 6 to 8 weeks later, y'all still got his name in y'all mouth. Like, you put up the post, man. We ain't put up the post. You put up the post. Apostles, disciples, but can't talk to me until you're on my level. I'm sure that as grown men and women as we are, if you could have a sit down with Kanye West, you would probably have something to say. Like, yo, man, what's up with you? What's good? You probably don't want to talk. You probably wouldn't have any questions about, like, yo, when you wrote Jesus Walks. By the way, he didn't write Jesus Walks. Rhyme Fest wrote. It doesn't. Ah! but yeah. So when you start talking about people can't say anything to somebody, or nobody can say anything to you because you're not on my level, you haven't done what I've done or whatever, you probably never say that at times when you're winning, because there's no reason to say it. There's no reason to defend yourself. But when you do the Chris Webber, University of Michigan last second try to call a timeout when you don't have no timeouts and you lose that championship and essentially break up that whole team. Fab Five, all freshmen. Fab Five, Fab gone. And that's your legacy. You want to tell me how much money Chris Webber got? Can't talk to Chris Webber unless you're on your level. Shoot, you've lost before. Chris Webber lost. You could have that conversation as far as I'm concerned. But you would be able to have that conversation with him, whether or not you were on that level with him or not, because you may have put money on Chris Webber in the Fab Five. Like, yo, they gonna handle Duke. Duke University broke a lot of hearts, and I'm not a Duke fan. Never have been, never will be. But their ability to win championships, like that Krzyzewski, oh goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, that's Krzyzewski. Can't take nothing away from him. TX Price says conversation is the foundation for cooperation. Salute to that. That's real. That's very, very real. But people tell you that you can't, you know what I mean? You can't have a talk with them. You can't have no talk with them. You ain't up with them. You can't bang with them. You can't hang with them. You can't talk with them. You can't sing with them. Well, who are they to tell you that? Who are they to tell you that you can't say nothing until you get your weight up? That's almost like saying, if I can't talk to you until you get your weight up, if I can't talk to you until I get my weight up, you can't fire back to me unless you got your hate up. But nobody wants to hear about how much you've accomplished when you haven't done it right then and there. You know, the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, and I'm still hurting over that. It ain't the end of the world, though. It ain't the end of the world, though. And at the time, it stung. So everybody who was coming at the Eagles, coming at me, coming at all of the fans that wanted the Eagles to win, we didn't win. So at that time, we had to eat that. It tastes disgusting. It made us sick to our stomach. But we had to eat it. We could, sure, we could say, well, listen, we lost the last game of the year. A lot of teams wasn't there. And those are facts. But what we can't say is what LeBron said the first year that they went down to Miami and they lost the championship versus, what was it? Who they get beat by? They got beat by Boston? No, they couldn't get beat by Boston. Who beat them? That year, him, Dwayne Wade. Oh, man, what was the other guy that was supposed to be so great? They were supposed to win multiple championships. Mia Cunningham says, what's wrong with Duke? I don't like Duke. I don't like him. I like North Carolina. I love Georgetown. But I ain't like Duke. You know what I don't like about Duke? Duke is a great college basketball team. But they don't turn out any stars in the NBA. The only bona fide star from Duke that I know was Grant Hill. And he spent so much so much time on injured reserve. Can we even talk about Grant Hill? Other than that, Duke don't put out no stars in the NBA. They just don't. You know what I mean? Grant Hill is the shining star. Everybody else from Duke, they was all right. They was journeymen. They was regular in the NBA. Yeah. Name somebody else besides Grant Hill. And tell you what, how much time we got left in the show? Take the time. You got a minute. I don't mind if you Google or whatever, but that's it. Grant Hill, that's all they got. That's all they got. She said, I don't know. Exactly. But Grant Hill was always hurt. We was like, will we see Grant Hill this year? No. How about next year? No. So no, I ain't like Grant. I mean, I ain't like Duke because they always crush the teams that I did like. That damn Christian Laettner with that last second 3-pointer that crushed UNLV. I was like, Christian Laettner went to the NBA. Christian Laettner was able to play with the Dream Team. Christian Laettner was able to play with the Dream Team in the Olympics. Like, that bum. That bum. Remember Bobby Hurley? That bum. But while he was at Duke, man, they was unstoppable. They was unstoppable. My brother Ansel Jones. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? Yeah. So, yeah. That's why I don't like Duke. Maybe that's why I don't like Duke, because they used to always have some superstar white boy making it seem like he was greater than all the black players, and they never were. They were smoke and mirrors. Anyway, you look at when they beat UNLV. Now, Larry, grandmama, I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, my sports IQ today is off. But Stacey Augmon, both of them went on to have very successful NBA careers. The team that beat them, Larry Johnson. Thank you, Ansel. Thank you, grandmama. Grandmama. All right, so yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that when somebody has lost, I mean, like, look, you had a bad day. Just own up to your bad day. You got to take your bumps and bruises today. Today, you got to take the heckles. But remember when LeBron, he tried it. Remember when LeBron lost that first championship? The one he was supposed to win? Because he went down to Miami. Remember, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Called a press conference. I was mad at LeBron, man. I love LeBron James now. But when he did that, he made me so mad. Because I'm like, you don't do your fans like that. Maybe he felt like he was only doing Cleveland like that. But Cleveland didn't make you not win a championship there. You had your chances. You got swept. But you don't do the fans how you did them. I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Then you go to South Beach and you lose there. And people was like, see, you moved from Miami. I mean, you moved from Cleveland to Miami, and it's the same result. And LeBron tried to get on that. Yeah, you know, a lot of people got like a lot to say about me, but I got a lot of money. I got a big house. I got cars. and my life is a whole lot better than a lot of other people's life. He went there because he was a young boy and his feelings was hurt. So he was basically telling people that they couldn't speak to him until they got on his level. And the media was like, yo, you tripping, young boy. You really wildin'. You just lost. And you talking about how you got it so much better than the people that support you? Bad move. This is bad PR. You got to go fix it. And he did. He had to apologize for that. He had to eat that. I know how it is when you get your feelings hurt, but you can't tell people that they can't talk to you until they get on your level. And these are the same people who are feeding you. Anybody who feeds you is on your level. Are we not all created equal? Oh. Let me tell y'all about some of my motivation for this show. Evidently, Chris Rock did a live stand-up on Netflix, I think, either Saturday night, Sunday night, whatever. And there are a lot of mixed reviews. Some people say that he stayed on the whole Will and Jada thing too long. Some people say he really just wasn't that funny last night or whenever it came on. A lot of people don't think that he wasn't the Chris Rock that people usually are that people are used to. For Chris Rock to still be doing stand-up all of these years later, he's really good at it. And expectation levels for him are always high because he never misses a step. A lot of cats that are still doing stand-ups, nowadays, they lose a lot of their luster. They're not as funny as they used to be. They fall off a little bit. And Chris Rock hadn't. So, y'all know I was a stand-up comedian. So I still know a lot of comedians and all of that. And I still view stand-up comedy from the standpoint of a stand-up comedian. So another comedian friend of mine was saying that we can't say nothing about Chris Rock. We can't say nothing about Chris Rock because Chris Rock is worth $60 million. And I'm like, first of all, I'm like, in today's inflated salary list, I was like, he only worth $60 million? Can somebody Google that? Like, not that $60 million ain't a lot, but something tells me that Chris Rock should be worth more than $60 million. Anybody know? Let me see. Chris Rock net worth. Let me see. $60 million. Damn, Chris. I mean, that's a lot of money, but don't that sound low that don't sound low to y'all? When you be hearing about this one making it worth $500 million, this one worth $250 million, this one worth $100 and something million. Don't $60 million? It seems like, hey, Chris, you gotta start putting in more work. All right, anyway, so my man was saying how, shoot, none of us are making that kind of money. We haven't achieved that kind of success. He worth $60 million. How can we say anything about Chris Rock? And I'm like, easily. The same way that we would say anything about any other comedian that stepped on that stage and bombed. Now, I'm not saying that Chris Rock bombed. I didn't see it. I didn't even see the special. But from the reviews that I've heard from fans and comedians, some people say he wasn't all that. Remember when Martin Lawrence came back? Remember when Martin Lawrence had the little breakdown or whatever, and he came out with that stand-up, what was it called? Run Tell That? It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. Most people said it. It wasn't that good. And you know how you know it wasn't really that good? remember Martin Lawrence first stand up. The whole, you so crazy. What was it called? What was his first tour called? I think it's, let's call it You So Crazy. You hear people quoting things from that show, quoting things from his set. Now, quote me something from Run Tell That. Because I remember I went to go see that stand up and I was like, where is the funny part? I'm just waiting on the funny part. Just told a long story. And from what I understand, a lot of people felt like Chris Rock just told a long story about getting slapped last night. I saw a few clips from it, but I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to take credit for that. But how are you going to be in the same industry as somebody else, especially with stand-up comedy, when you know how subjective it is? Anybody can have a good night, anybody can have a bad night. You could step on that stage and not be feeling it, or the crowd cannot be feeling you that night. You didn't get the job done. I've seen national headliners go down in flames. Chris Rock is above all that? Well, he might be, because everybody came to see Chris Rock. They ain't gonna let him fail, but so far, but they can say that he wasn't that funny. You can easily say it. I know people who have gone to Kevin Hart's shows and they said Kevin, he was all right, but he wasn't really all that funny. I know people who don't think Kevin Hart is that funny at all. Kevin Hart is definitely worth more than $60 million. I'll tell you that. Let's see. Kevin Hart net worth. Kevin Hart net worth. Damn, Kev. $500 million? Net worth, 500 million. $500 million. Talk about rapping Duke. Da nobody knew that Kev would take it this far. But okay. I know people who have gone to Kevin Hart shows and said, I don't think he's that funny. I know people who haven't gone to his shows and they say, Kevin Hart, he all right, but I don't really think he's that funny. I think he's funny. I've met him. He's a nice guy. All that kind of stuff. We came from the same place. He used to do his thing down the Laugh House. I used to do my thing down the Laugh House. He's worth $500 million. If Kevin Hart tells jokes that I don't think are funny, I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say, I can't, I can't tie his shoes. So how am I going to criticize Kevin Hart? I criticize Kevin Hart if I don't think he's funny. I criticize Kevin Hart if he messes up. The same way that I would expect anybody else to do for me or to me. So my comrade, my colleague, talk about, I'm hearing comedians, talk about, Chris Rock, and they shouldn't do that. We need to keep our mouth shut when it comes to Chris Rock because blah, blah, blah. And I had to go on a post and I said, listen, champions get challenged by challengers all the time. The reason that you're a champion is because you can beat all challengers. Now, when them challengers beat you, you're no longer the champion. They are. But you know what? For that fight that night, you as the champion got paid more than they did. So although they're the champion now, you're the champion of the money. But you don't have that belt no more. So you can't tell that challenger that he can't talk to you because he ain't on that level on your level because you ain't get paid. I mean, he hasn't gotten paid as much as you. He's the champion now. Pay homage. Give that belt up. That belt is going around his waist and out of your possession. Salute, dog. As simple as that. So what are we talking about? Can't talk to me until you're on my level. Oh, y'all broke ass niggas. You know what I mean? Y'all want to talk shit. Meanwhile, y'all ain't got a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of, or a friend to talk about it to. Y'all welfare to work ass, Section 8 living, roach and rats infested ass cribs, sticky floor having ass, dirty diaper in the backyard, throwing them out the window in the neighbor's yard, pissed off with you. You know what I mean? You big boric acid having to spread around, Terminix coming through to try to, you know what I mean, orc and army necessary for your neighbors. You know what I mean? You big, these ain't my roaches, these the neighbors' roaches, roach having ass in the crib, having. Come on, man. Come on. Bottom line is, I don't care how much money you make. If you don't know how to park your car, you don't know how to park your car. So you mean to tell me, well, you can't say shit to me because I could afford a luxury, let's say a Jaguar SUV. I'm like, all I know is your ass don't know how to parallel park. And the only reason I'm even using the word parallel park is because evidently you must have came from a place where they have driveways because you don't know how to parallel park. We just call it parking. But I have to say parallel park for you because your Jaguar SUV or your Maserati SUV is like this far away from the curb, and you messing up parking spots for everybody else on the block. So you creating spaces where too high to get over, yeah, too low to get under, yeah, you're stuck in the middle, yeah, and the pain is done. If you don't move your goddamn car, pull up closer to the car so somebody else can park behind you. You're messing up the parking spots on the block. Keep fucking around, and I'm gonna have the kids play football on the block, and one of the foot and somebody gonna miss a catch, and your hood is gonna pay the ultimate price. Or somebody might come along and get their key on and they ain't trying to open the car. They get their keystrokes on. The keystrokes. They keystrokes. You know, people will fuck up your car if you don't park it right. You know how it go in the hood. Some people will let out the air in your tires over some jealousy. Oh, sure, you saw. Okay, hold on. And so Jones says that fall is hard when you push people down to move up. Fan base change. Word. Narcil says, I watched the Chris Rock stand up. I think he made some valid points. I don't think he fell off. Okay. But was he funny though? Because he's supposed to be funny. You know what I mean? Was he funny? Cheryl says, I think he did well. I enjoyed it. So that means you thought he was funny. Cool. And you say, didn't he just get a divorce? That was half. You talk about Kevin Hart. I don't know. And they say he worth $500 million. Big number. Mia says, I think it's sad that as a society we judge or like people from their net worth status instead of who they are as a person. You know, I don't really think that it's like that. I don't think it's that we like people more because they have money. I think that we just use that as our cushion. We use that as our cushion for when they don't do well, when they don't show out well. Because you know, a lot of people identify themselves through their sports teams or they're celebrities or whatever. They live vicariously through these people. So my sense of worth, my sense of self goes through the performance of my favorite people. So when you talk about them, it's like you're talking about me. When you talk about them, it's like you're talking about me. Talk about them, yeah, you're talking about me. Yo, you can't talk about them, talk about me. Yeah, I can't. What you talk? Yo, red son. All right. But for people who do like people just because they have money, a la Donald Trump, well, people say that they don't like Trump because he has money, but I know that people would not listen to Trump if he never had that money that he has. He wouldn't. He would never have risen to that type of level of people paying attention to him. I know it. Ansel says, "I hate going to a comedy show and they pick on people in the crowd. People in the crowd. Ansel. Do you know some people actually like that? I never thought when I used to do stand up, I didn't used to heckle people. I didn't like messing with people and all of that. I was like, nobody pays to come out and get teased. I was wrong. I was wrong. I used to I used to have this comedy room. They used to come there just to see people get cut up. People used to wear all kinds of crazy stuff and sit right in the front, hoping that I would start cutting on them. And I started doing it. I realized that was the bread and butter of this room. It was crazy. I had comedians on the run from this room. They was like, yo, man, the boy's son, he got this room. Cats from New York was coming down. They was like, yo, you got to do this room. The boy son 752? He got this room. Yo, we did this. The shit is going to take you back to when you was fighting to get a name. And I had that room under control. But, comedians that had moved past that, they used to doing comedy clubs. They not used to doing rooms where people come out, they just want to see a bunch of heckling. You know what I mean? They want the funny, but the funny to them is how you could cut up on people, how you could pick people. It was crazy. It really was. It really was. But so yeah, some people actually come out for that. I don't know. It says, me too, Ansel. Someone did that to me and I almost got into a fight. Whoa. Whoa. Woo. Nar says, I think he was funny too. Okay, cool. All right. Let's chill and do these birthday shout outs. Okay. Okay. We have some birthday shout outs. Some people were born on the glorious March 6th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Bo Collins, turning 50 years old today, and Tracy Reed turning 42 years old today, and lovely Arciel turning 30 years old today, and Verdella Brown turning 68 years old today, and Tamika Presley, happy birthday to you, and Ciliana Luna Tejada, happy birthday to you, and April Kelly turning 38 years old today, comedian, my man Tommy Turner turning 40 years old today. I remember he was just a baby comedian, just a baby. And also Kareem Slade, happy birthday to you, my brother. And last but not least, Kimberly Thompson, turning 43 years old today. I want to say happy birthday to all y'all. Each and every one of y'all. And anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious March 6th, anywhere out there in the world. I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. All y'all go ahead and turn up but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, listen, check it out. Run it back, check. Yo, can't talk to me until you're on my level. You can't tie my boots. You can't wrap me up. You can't talk to me. You can't strap me up. You can't get with this. You can't have a combo. You gotta turn your back because you my kind, yo. I don't know, man. I ain't feeling it. Maybe y'all are, maybe you're not. I just think that everybody has a chance to talk to any and everybody about what they have to talk about. You can't tell another man or another woman that they can't criticize you because of something that you have done, especially when you have done it wrong, just because they don't have what you had. You know, you had to start from humble beginnings. You had to start from somewhere. You had to start from one, and they, wherever they are in their lives, they had to start from the same one that you had to start from. So, regardless of where you've gotten, in order to solidify your spot, you got to keep winning. A champion can't hold the belt and say that nobody else can have the belt and never take on challenges. You can't take criticism. You probably shouldn't be in the game. Simple and plain. Probably shouldn't be in the game. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Go Get It. You think we won't when we will? You think it won't get ill? Well, we will. So, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. Please make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This has been the Daily Go Get 'Em Show. So for my my blog talkers, let me get you out of here. Yeah. Right? And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Yeah, on the other side, my boobers. Yeah, on the other. I'm a holla.